So here it is. It happened again. You're looking over these records and you finally find something that you think is finally going to break down your brick wall. And it turns out somebody attached a record to the wrong person and it has nothing to do with what you are researching. Oh my gosh, how many times does this happen? And it is so frustrating. I see quite a bit of people talking about this on the GAA group that I'm in. And, I know it's frustrating, but the truth is, as genealogists, we're going to constantly run into all these different possibilities, and it's up to us to prove or disprove whether they are right or wrong. So in this episode of Auntie Jen's 2 Cents, we're going to talk about why it's more important to put your energy into proving and disproving than just to rant and complain. That's why this episode is called Don't Freak, Fix. This week's prompt for Amy Johnson Crow's 52 Ancestors prompt is mistake. And I've been sitting here thinking about what am I going to write for this for my blog. And really, how many mistakes do we run across every single day? From looking in records that have been transcribed incorrectly, records that have been attached to wrong ancestors, there are mistakes all over the place. And while thinking about this, I thought about some of the mistakes that I have even made in the past. And I think I'm going to probably do that for the writing prompt for the 52 Ancestors. But when it comes to this, discussing with you, like I said, in the GAA group, I see it all the time. Everyone getting so frustrated over the incorrect records when they go and look at it and they say, well, this is not correct. This is not correct. And, they spend so much time complaining. And while it is good to rant and get your frustrations out, I think we focus too much on the mistakes that other people have made. And I think we need to start focusing on spending our energy correcting them. Sadly, they're going to continue. The mistakes are going to continue. People are going to attach wrong records. Records are going to be transcribed wrong. There's nothing we can do about it except just try to fix it. Spend our time and our energy looking through these and making sure that these are the correct records. And as long as we're doing that, the mistakes will hopefully start lowering. And that's our job as genealogists, as part of the Genealogical Proof Standard. The Genealogical Proof Standard is a guideline for establishing the reliability or proof of a genealogical conclusion with reasonable certainty. It is important within the genealogical community for clearly communicating the quality of research performed, such as by a professional genealogist. Now that is the definition that is given on wikipedia.com. And the GPS, as it is known, has 5 different elements. First, reasonably exhaustive research. That is where you are going to try to find as many sources as you can about the particular subject that you are researching. Obviously, reasonable. You're not going to find every single piece of shredded evidence that you're going to find in this world. That's why it's called reasonably exhaustive search. Really try to find as many sources as you can. The next step is complete and accurate source citations. Make sure you include this. That way, if someone comes back, like you have done with other people's research, and you try to duplicate those sources, that way you can go back and see if this is correct or not. The next step is analysis and correlation of the collected information. Now, this is where it comes in where you're comparing the sources that you have found. Do the records match up? Do the dates match up? Do the names match up? What details are right? What are wrong? What causes you to scratch your head? That's what you're doing in this step. Then the next one is resolution of any conflicting evidence. Again, you're scratching your head saying, well, wait a minute, why is this wrong when this is, saying this? And you're looking at the different sources and trying to come up with a conclusion on why it is conflicting. And then after you do that, you can come up with a soundly reasoned, coherently written conclusion. By following these steps, we will ensure that our research will be more accurate, for sure. As you're looking at so many different records and people's trees, you'll see that a lot of people, they don't take the time to go through all of these steps. They just see a hint and they accept it. And that is the most frustrating part of all of this sometimes. While it is great that all of these records are now available online and it makes it easier to research, I think it causes us to be lazy and it causes us to not do the research. We think the research is done for us and we just attach it. A lot of people do this. They just attach it thinking, oh, okay, this is correct. We're just going to add it and go with it from there. Well, that's where all these errors are starting to come in. This is where we need to step up our game, and spend our time really checking all of these sources. Yes, it's going to take time. You know, this is still a lot faster than it used to be. You used to have to actually go to the libraries. You used to have to actually go to the different places. You had to write to different places and wait for those results to come back. You know, I'm not even going to go into all of that. So this is still pretty fast, but you do have to take the time to accurately check everything that you were going to add to your tree. And if you were adding it to the tree, you better be sure, reasonably sure, that that is probably 90% true. I can't say 100 because nothing is ever 100% true. Sometimes we only have the reasonable conclusions that we can draw. But I think we need to stop focusing our attention on complaining and ranting about everybody else's research and take the time to fix the research that has been done and make sure that the truth is actually out there. And once that starts happening and we all start doing our part, then the mistakes will finally start disappearing. No, they will never go away, but at least the truth is out there. And you can't control what everybody else does, but you can control what you do. And as long as you do the correct research and put the truth out there, it will be out there and other people will finally start seeing it. So that's my 2 cents and my rant about this whole thing. So just remember, the next time you want to freak out, don't freak out. Just fix it.